So the first two rows of your guys' breaker panel is going to run off the house batteries. Very easy as we go down. Spare is hooked up a little differently on each of the boats. Lights can just be turned on and off using the light switches throughout your guys' boat, or you can turn them off on this breaker panel here. Spreader lights are the lights up on the second deck of your guys' boat. Provide light up there. Refrigerator breaker you're going to want to leave on at all times. If you turn that one off, your refrigerator is going to be off. You're not going to have warm, or you're going to have warm food and warm beer, and nobody wants that. Your furnace breaker, if you guys do need to use that one, you're going to flip on the furnace breaker here. And on the temperature adjustment on the side is how you guys are going to adjust the temperature. So right here you have your furnace temperature adjustment and your fireplace temperature adjustment. So for your furnace, first off, if you want to engage your furnace, you need to make sure your breaker panel on the breaker that says furnace is turned on. You're going to flip on the little switch on the side. You're going to set it to heat, and then you'll adjust your temperature to whatever you guys want, and you should be able to hear the furnace engage once you have it set to the temperature you need. Once you're done with the furnace, set your temperature all the way down and flip the little switch on the side to the off position just to shut off the furnace. The water heater breaker you're going to want to leave on at all times as well. If you guys turn that one off, you're not going to have any hot water coming out of your taps or your showers. So you're going to want to make sure you leave that one on, and just below is the indicator switch. So going on about the water heater, this is your water heater indicator switch. Right now it's in the on position and there's no red illuminated reset light. So that means your water heater is heating your water. What you guys can do, if you do ever come by and you see this red reset light illuminated, so it's bright red, means your water heater pilot light has gone out, so you're going to need to reset that. To reset that, the easiest thing to do is you flip your on-off switch just to the off position, and then you can flip it back on. Usually that does relight that water heater and gets it going for you guys again, so you have hot water. If it doesn't go, you guys can still turn off your water heater breaker, reset that, flip it back on. If that red reset light goes away, your water heater is heating. If it doesn't seem to go away, we'll get you guys to reference your guys' manual, or if we need, we can always use the radio within main radio hours as well. So for your guys' water pump breaker here, that has to be off when you are driving the boat. So before you start driving, make sure you turn this water pump breaker off. If you do have it on while you are driving, you can suck up air into your lake water pump. That's going to airlock the pump, so you're going to have no water going throughout your guys' boat. This is very important. You need to make sure it is turned off before you start driving in order to maintain water pressure throughout all your taps. So off before you start driving. If you need to use water while you are driving the boat, put your boat into neutral, come to a stop, then you can flip that water pump breaker back on, use the water as you need, and shut it off before you start driving again. The next one below is the freshwater pump. That's a 200-liter tank on board the boat. You guys can use as much of that as you need while you are driving, stopped, whenever, because it is a 200-liter contained unit on board the boat. It only comes from the small silver taps in each of the sinks on the boat, though. All the other main taps, toilets, showers, and hot tub are all lake water. You guys have 12-volt DC outlets that are outlets throughout the boat. Your docking lights are the lights that come out the very front end of the boat and they shine on the beach or on the lake. You have aft cabin outlets, which is outlets located throughout the boat. Your fuel transfer breaker here will go into more depth now. Finally, the CD player is for your stereo in the main area to allow stereo and music to go throughout the boat. So this third row of breakers on the breaker panel is only going to run when the generator is on and your boat is charging. So we'll go into how to get that generator started up and go through that part there. The next part of the orientation, you're going to go over how to start up the generator and switch over to power. So to start the generator, it's very easy. You're going to press and hold the start switch. You're going to press and hold for about 5 seconds. Should be able to hear the generator come on in the back of the boat there. After you have that generator running, give it about 10 to 15 seconds before you turn your main generator switch over to the ship's gen position, just so you don't overload the power system and shut off the generator. So give it about 10 to 15 seconds, then you flip that ship's generator switch over to ship's gen, and you should have the boat come on and charging. So what it will look like, we'll show you now. So some of the breaker panels, they do have this separate ship's gen and shore power breaker. So for this one, it's very easy. When you're starting your generator, make sure it is off of shore power. This little black thing slides up just to reset the breaker. This is your generator power on and off switch. This is how you engage the power to the generator. So what you will do is you're gonna once again start up your generator by pressing and holding the start switch. After about 10 to 15 seconds, you're gonna flip that generator breaker over to the on position. Your generator should start to engage power, and on your inverter panel you will be able to see it will slowly say bulk charging for you guys. Minimum, if it goes below 12 volts, there is a 12 volt alarm on the boat, so it will slowly start to beep at you. So it's a single beep and then about 10 seconds and it will beep again. That just lets you know you need to start up your generator and let it charge, usually for about 2 to 3 hours after you would get that low voltage alarm, in order for yourselves to get a good charge. If you shut off the generator as soon as that alarm goes away, your battery is going to drain down quickly and set that alarm off again. So this panel will say one of 3 things on it. It will say inverting when your generator is not running and your boat is not charging. It will say bulk charging when your batteries are slowly charging up. And it will say float charging or full charge once your batteries are full. So in a couple seconds, your charging light will engage. It will say charging for you guys once your generator is on and you're set to ship's gen. And slowly it will click in and it will let you know what your full charge or your bulk charge. So for this boat here, it is set to float charge, which means your batteries are full. So on the inverter panel here, this is what tells you what your battery voltage is for your house batteries. So anything below 12 volts, there's a 12 volt alarm on this boat. So if your battery volts go below that 12 volt, the alarm is going to slowly beep at you. So it's a beep and then about 10 seconds and then another beep to let you know that you need to start your generator up and get your boat charging. So once your guys' boat is charging, the bulk charge indicator will come on here. It's a light, it'll either be flashing or solid, just to let you know that that boat is charging and your batteries are slowly charging up. So bulk charging means your batteries are slowly charging up. Float charge, when that light illuminates, means your batteries are full. So before you go to bed is one of the most important times you're going to want to for sure run your generator. You're going to want to let it run about 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed until you get a float charge, which means your batteries are full. Then you can shut your generator down for the evening. But in order to get to a float charge, if you have a bunch of other breakers turned on the breaker panel, it's going to take a long time or it won't reach that float charge, as the power is going to be going directly to the source or where it's drawing power from. So in order to get to the float charge quicker, shut off as many breakers as you can, the breakers you're not using, in order to get the boat to charge up a little bit faster to get to that float charge. Then once you are at a float charge, you're going to shut down your generator and flip off any of the breakers you're not using to conserve power overnight, so you don't get that 12 volt alarm to come on and set off the alarm and wake everybody on the boat up. So make sure you get to a float charge before you go to bed. You guys should all be fine overnight. So once again, on your third panel, breakers, the one that's only going to work when your generator is running. You're going to know that the generator is working and charging once the lights along this generator section come back on. A few of the important ones down this section: dishwasher, once again you need the generator running. You have 2 galley outlets breakers. Your hot tub fill and jet, that's for filling your hot tub, as well as for your high power jets upstairs. Your dryer is located on the back deck there. Any breaker that's covered with the black cover, you're going to want to leave it set how it is when you arrive on the boat. You don't want to flip either of them off or on, as it's going to cause issues for your boat. So just make sure you leave them how they're set. The last one along this breaker panel is just your cabin outlets, which is outlets located in the cabin. Finally, your last row, your fourth row on the breaker panel, is your inverter fed breaker. So this converts 12 volt to 120 volt AC. Few important ones going down: your stove and microwave. Whenever you're using your microwave, try to have the generator running, as that's going to use a lot of power and drain your batteries down very quickly. You have more galley outlets, your TV and stereo for your main area there, your bar for your main bar area for your outlets up top. You have more cabin outlets, and the last one is your circulator pump, or it might be labeled hot tub heater on your guys' boat. That is to power on your circulator pump and your hot tub heater upstairs. So in order for that, you're going to want to make sure you have that one on if you are trying to use your hot tub in order for it to heat and circulate the water. Also, make sure you turn this one off whenever you're not using it, just to shut off your heater so you're not continuously using power as well as propane in order to heat your hot tub. As if you do leave this one on for very extended periods of time, you will run out of propane and you're just continually using power to continue to heat that hot tub. So I would suggest turning this one off whenever you're not using your hot tub in order to save propane as well as save power.